Ladies and gentlemen of Knucklehead Nation, welcome to another episode. This is a surprise, sort of impromptu episode, but you guys know I love to give you guys predictions on the big fights coming up, and also to talk about our own events at FightersRep 11. Now, you'll see by my side here, we have Ken Broley. Is it Browley or Broly, Ken?
None of the above. It's Bromley. How's
Bromley, I apologize. Ken Bromley. Ken Bromley. He is the owner and founder of Citizen Athlete Project, the newest sponsor at FightersRep. And we're going to be discussing what they do, which I think is extremely important and relevant to what we talk about. Fight life, this whole discipline situation that goes on with every fighter's life and you know, that kind of touches on everybody's life.
Right.
But that being said, first and foremost, Ken, we got to talk about Canelo versus Caleb Plant. I think you might be actually a bit interested to know that Caleb Plant, Ken, was an IKF champion at one point. Do you believe that?
I do now. That's amazing.
Yes, and Ken, Ken is familiar with the IKF because, of course, he was put in touch with me by the co-founder of the IKF, Dan Bam Bam Stell, a guy who is an absolute beast in his own right, 17-0 as a kickboxer. So, Caleb Plant just happens to be an IKF champ, and Ken has even gone as far as to sponsor IKF events in the past. So big shout out to you, Ken, and the Citizen Athlete Project. But, as much as we love Caleb Plant, Ken, and as much as we respect kickboxers, he's going in there, Ken, against one of the best to ever do it. Definitely one of the best doing it, if not the best doing it right now on the present scene in Canelo Alvarez. And for me, even though Caleb Plant holds the only other super middleweight title that Canelo Alvarez doesn't have, I think Canelo is going to take it away from him. And I believe he probably does so with a late stoppage. So that's my prediction on that one. Ken, do you have any thoughts, if any, on this fight?
I like the kickboxing bit. That makes it really interesting for the almost newcomer Caleb. But I would, if I knew more about that particular arena, I would probably go with the veteran also.
Awesome.
And I'm looking forward to seeing it myself, actually.
It's going to be a great fight. It's actually going down just one day after our event, FightersRep 11, Ken, an event that you are going to be a part of as a sponsor with your company, Citizen Athlete Project. Now, of course, this is where we want to segue you in here, Ken. I kind of want you to talk about yourself in a nutshell and the Citizen Athlete Project in a nutshell, why it's important and why it's relative to combat sport.
To combat sports, combat sports has such a martial arts background or history, big culture behind it, and I've been fortunate enough to be a conditioning coach in a lot of that community. So there's a real connection for me to be involved with this kind of an event because the martial arts piece of it. The Citizen Athlete Project isn't about sports at all. In fact, it's about some things that are more like martial arts: character development, personal performance, great citizenship, being a part of a community. It's about taking those things that great athletes have and helping regular people realize they have them too, because we all do. I think we forget that people like Canelo, for instance, he probably plays video games, has romance problems or good things going on, right? He has family. He has all these normal things, and we've lost track of the ability to sort of connect with those things and understand that's part of being a human, despite the fact that they're amazing athletes. So we have this great divorce in society where we say, okay, those people are like that, and we're like this, and that's how we're different. We've lost track of finding ways to connect and recognize what we have in common with the people that we admire and respect. And so that's been my mission with the Citizen Athlete Project, is to connect those things again, get people starting to realize what they have in common with the people they admire and they respect, and say, hey, if they can be happy and successful, so can I. And so we have a simple little program. Doesn't take much. It's free to the user. And it gives them an opportunity to discover their way to be happy and successful. like the people they admire and respect. How's that?
I think that's an amazing breakdown. Kind of tell us, what got you started with the project, and how can people kind of access it?
Well, we say it's online initiated, real life activated. So it's online. You do the first bits of any of the chapters or any of the units. We have 7 units online, and then you go experience some things with these people that you admire. And we set up a way to do that. We teach you how to do that. Um, Part of the reason that I'm inspired to bring something like this forward is because of the disconnect, ironically, that technology, like we're using right here,
Right.
so that we can do this great talk and this great promotion and this great video of yours with your fez and everything, you know, it's wonderful, but it's actually supposed to be a tool and not a consumption of our lives, right? It's not supposed to be something that consumes our lives. It's supposed to be something that helps our lives be better. And so a while ago, that reality clicked really hard in some parts of my life, and I thought, there's got to be a better way to get people engaged in things, one that's all positive. When people talk about this being a self-help program, it's not that at all. Self-help is about fixing something. This is a program for anybody who wants to be better, because it says that personal growth is about having elements. And this has been my career as a conditioning coach, is I take the elements that are good, we help you keep them, and then we help cultivate them, help you evolve, right? So that's ultimately why I started doing this after 30 years of working with great athletes and great people, realizing that there's this sort of disconnect and that it's really simple to reconnect to the idea that you have great things and we ought to cultivate them instead of celebrate our deficiencies, which is, I think, what happens. And that was ultimately the inspiration for the program. I hope that made sense.
It does, Ken. It does, but it's fascinating to me. It's just a program where you kind of want to take the best attributes that you typically see in these great athletes and great people,
Yes.
and you want to kind of find a way to distribute it, or I guess I don't know, to teach people to garner it in themselves.
Yeah. So the program literally requires people to connect with somebody they admire or respect. These are the primary terms we use, but you can, as long as it isn't your parents or your siblings, they've got to reach outside their comfort zone a little bit. Go find somebody that maybe their favorite uncle or their neighbor that's really amazing, or something happened that was incredible. The system allows them to make an overture and start to spend a little time sharing stories. It's really painfully simple. I use the word painfully as a sarcastic note, but it's really, really simple to just start talking to people again, and you can change the structure of your brain. I know that I could bore you to death with all the science behind it, but that's really what it boils down to, is getting people to start to share experiences and step outside their comfort zone a little bit. After all, what we do definitely know about sports, one thing it provides, and especially martial arts, is that without discomfort or inefficiency or difficulty of some sort, there's no reason to change, right? And so you have to step outside of your comfort zone to make change. That's essentially what the program does in a really fun way.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So people can find the program, Ken, on
Yes.
citizenathleteproject.com. Is that where they go to sign up for this?
That's it. Really simple. When you go there, look around, poke around, read a lot if you want, or don't read a lot at all. You can literally go to sorry, I blipped there for a moment on the title of the page. But basically, if you go to get started, if you hit a get started button, that's the word I was looking for. If you hit the get started button, it takes you to a page that has 3 simple phrases on it. I am a prospect, I am a sponsor, I am a coach. And most people are going to be prospects because they want to participate in the program. We have a certified coaches program too. But all they have to do is click one of those buttons and it'll take them to whatever they're interested in, for sure. Yep.
I see it. It looks very interesting. I'm looking at it now, right now. Ken says, join the citizen athlete community, be a part of something great, participate with purpose, and
Yes.
enroll for free. So I guess, is it for free? I mean, I think you already mentioned that, but kind of tell me a little bit about, how people can access this. Do they need to spend any money? What do they need to do?
They don't need to spend any money. It's absolutely free to the participant. The program is funded basically by like Little League selling candy bars. When I was a little boy, we didn't have any money. I couldn't afford to play baseball. So, or I should say my parents couldn't afford to pay for it, right?
Right, right.
So so I had to go door to door and sell candy bars. Excuse me. And every year I went to Mr. Johnson first. My cat walked by evidently.
It's
Excuse me.
okay.
I'm allergic to the cat. How
Wa-
nice is that?
Wanted dead or alive, Ken.
Exactly. Wanted dead or alive. You wonder why I have this here, right? It reminds me that all possibilities are available. So, yeah. So, like, I'd go to Mr. Johnson's house, ask him to buy a candy bar. He didn't need a candy bar, man. In those days, $1 for a candy bar was a lot of money,
Yeah, yeah.
And but he bought it from me every year, and every year my buddy Mikey would go over there and try to sell a candy bar too. And once in a while, Mr. Johnson would say, "Mikey, I'm not going to buy a candy bar from you for this year because you have not been good." Now imagine what that does, right?
Right, right.
Instantly, you get the idea that that Mr. Johnson is sponsoring the kid. So he's either endorsing or what's the opposite of endorsing? I don't know,
Uh,
but not supporting the idea that you've had bad behavior,
right,
right?
right.
Well, that leap to actually ask for help is something that I think is missing in so many things like education, society, sometimes families, you know. And so you have this simple exercise where you have to ask the prospect has to ask one of their friends or whoever they admire to be a sponsor for them and buy a kit. And so they'll end up buying a kit, but it's free for the participant.
Gotcha. Big shout out, by the way, Ken, to Stagger Lee Goods and Soapboxing Podcast. They're watching right now. We appreciate you guys joining us right now. I
Nice.
say, so good to see you, bro, and I'm in here. Thank you. It's good to see you guys as well. Ken, I
Yes,
know
sir.
I know you have a history with the IKF, and again, you were put in
Yes.
contact with me through Bam Bam, through the sport of kickboxing
Right on.
and the IKF. Why
Yeah.
why now? Why are you jumping on as a sponsor? Which of course we're very grateful for it, and we're grateful for your
Yeah.
generosity, and we we wouldn't work with you if we didn't believe in what you were doing and think it was a great idea. But why is it that you've decided to jump on board California's only basically a pro kickboxing promotion?
Yeah, it's interesting. California, I think, well, number one, California is probably the number one martial arts community in the whole
I
union.
would agree with that.
Uh,
I would agree.
yeah, for sure. Kickboxing, when I was involved with the IKF many years ago, was very exciting. It was growing. There's some amazing stars coming out, including Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. My guy that brought me into this whole thing, Peyton, the artist Russell, right? He was an IKF guy, and so I had a great experience getting to know Ray Thompson and the Thompson family, and a number of key players here in Minnesota. Um, so that the last time I was involved with the IKF, my life, sort of modeling the program, my life improved dramatically in every way possible because of the nature of the community. And so starting off with this program, I wanted to go to the place that I knew was always a positive experience for me. And so I'm starting out with the IKF. And we're launching it and piloting the program through essentially in California, but starting off with this event, FightersRep 11, right away. I think it's a perfect start. If people believe in planets aligning, that's what I feel like is happening here.
Awesome.
So it's
Awesome.
that's why I'm involved. Yeah.
I love to be involved in that sort of thing and that sort of feeling, Ken, that sort of energy. I love it. And, we're going to have some fantastic fights on this card, and we're going to have a lot of young men and women that, are trying to be, the best version of themselves especially on that night, because that's what's going to take to get that win in a lot of these fights, Ken.
Yes.
And that's what it takes day in, day out, right? I mean, in order to train and
Every
become a
day.
kickboxer. So,
Yeah, you gotta train every day, your brain every day. 90% of your performance that happens in this case in the ring is because of the life you lead outside of there. And so hopefully all the tools you have to be a great human being, how you live, how you love, how you support or use the world, how you eat, all those things,
right,
right?
right, right. And if you need help with those, you can get it at
Yes.
citizenathleteproject.com.
Yes, you can. Yes, sir.
Ken, you see that wasn't so bad, was it? We did a good little job there, didn't we?
I think it's fine. Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
Okay, great, great. So
I hope it
guys,
works for you, man.
oh, definitely, we love having you and we'd love to have you back and anything that will help the community that's relevant, I think is absolutely vital. I mean, we've heard so many of these young fighters, especially now,
Yeah,
come out talking about their circumstances, talking about mental
yeah,
illness, and who knows? Who knows if somebody may have reached out a bit sooner to some of these young guys and
exactly.
gals, and maybe offered themselves up as a sponsor, as a mentor. What could
Right,
have been,
right.
in their life. So I definitely love it. I love the idea behind it. And guys, you can check it out at citizenathleteproject.com. You can also follow them on social media. Ken just fired up the Instagram page not too long ago.
Yep,
And
yep. It's all. Yep.
go ahead, Ken. Go ahead.
It's no, I got nothing, man. That I was just gonna say we've got all platforms, So and it's definitely your arena. It's not mine. I'm not good at the stuff. That's why I have good people handling
For
that, not
sure, for
me.
sure. We'll get you there. If you guys have any questions for Ken, definitely reach out to him on the website.
Yes.
Hit the website up, reach out to him, citizenathleteproject.com. Coach D, I know you're in here. You've got an entire gym down in Texas. A lot of this stuff can help your guys out. So definitely reach out to him and, let him know, and all the coaches that work with us as well. I mean, this is a lot of stuff that can help your guys continue to develop outside of the gym where you can't really
Right
keep an
on.
eye where you can't really keep an eye on them. So definitely a good idea to check it out. Citizenathleteproject.com. And Ken, we thank you for your generosity and for your project and what you're doing, man.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate the opportunity with you guys too. Everybody be safe and happy.
For
Okay.
sure. We'll see you guys November 5th. Have a great one.
I'll be
Thank
there.
you, Ken.